Try this shit again.
It's doing the waiting thing.
What the fuck is it waiting on?
Apparently you to start the podcast, but I got the notification for it this time. But
Okay,
it's still
it
says waiting.
seems
Okay,
to
now
be
we're.
playing on my laptop.
Oh yeah, we're good now. Yeah, we're
Okay.
good. Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Get some healing.
Oh shit.
It's all good. Alright, cool. Paste.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
God, man. And I'm good on my end. Already got the chat open. So far, no one in the chat.
My PlayStation's telling me we have 3 people, and my laptop is telling me we have 2. So, take it or leave it. I'm saying we have 3.
Fuck it, why not?
So, you know what I figured out today?
Hmm.
So, you know how we're always talking about, what if, like, WWE had, like, a store? Like an actual store? Apparently they did in, like, New York. And it, like, yeah, it was like a WWE arcade. It was like a WWE, like a pop-up shop, like a actual, like, shop you could go in where they sell, like, WWE merchandise. And it
Oh,
was like a WWE themed, like, diner. And apparently the fucking food sucked, and it was
God.
like the most boring place on earth, people said. And fucking yeah.
Of course, they just had to make some weird out of it. They couldn't just make a store. They had to do some weird shit, make a diner no one's gonna care about.
Yeah, bro, and apparently, it, it's like where the Hard Rock Cafe is now. Like, that's where it used to
Oh
be
shit.
in New York, yeah.
God damn. God, bro.
I never knew that. It was
Yeah.
because MJF was talking about how he won tickets to a free dinner at the WWE cafe, and a week later it closed, and he never got to go. So he said that he has a lot of disdain in his heart for that company because of that.
God damn, bro. What the fuck? Them bitch closed down. They ain't give him a refund or nothing.
I think he won the tickets.
Mm. God damn, that's fucked up, bro. Yeah. They didn't have Titus at the time, so definitely that food was awful.
Yeah, apparently the food like really fucking sucked.
God.
God damn.
Must be
God
glad they got
damn.
Titus now.
That's true.
My actual fucking.
And apparently like the big cast.
Right. I love test.
Like, bro, that's so fucked. How do your own
Swear.
employees not even want to show up to your fucking WWE? Well, how do your notable employees not want to even show up to the fucking WWE cafe? Yeah, I heard the
Swear.
food was like god awful,
Oh,
like on another level bad. I was like,
damn,
bro,
man.
what
They
the
got their
fuck?
ass. They fucking got their ass.
Okay. All right. What is up, guys? We are back with episode 9, part 1 of the Notorious Sales podcast. And on this episode, we are doing the Mount Rushmores. Man, yeah, we got some Mount Rushmores on this episode. We have, fuck, why am I, what the, oh, we have all-time independent talent. We have our top heels. We have our top baby faces, all on this episode.
Most definitely.
If this is your first time watching, I am Johnny Mayhem, and this is Sir K.
What's up, guys? I'm Sir K.
And yeah, we are the Notorious Heels here, running the
Most
Notorious
definitely.
Heels podcast. And as you can see, Ricochet is jogging in the ring in a very awkward fashion. And yeah, how are you doing today, bro?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm just chilling, bro, waiting for this fucking takeover on Sunday. Sadly, it's on Sunday, but we had the takeover, so gotta
For,
love it.
for sure.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Good.
Just chilling.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's about it. Um,
Swear.
yeah, just chilling, man. We keeping positive for sure. Yeah, so we are here to enlighten everyone's day in a
Yeah.
sanity vignette themed world. We are here to save the day, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so without further ado, I guess we could get into it. We'll start off with the indie one, man. Yeah,
Gotcha.
obviously, man, dude, especially nowadays, the WWE rosters, even though we don't think of some of these people as indie guys anymore, I mean, man, these rosters are just filled with independent talent, man.
Oh,
Yeah, nowadays it's hard to find homegrown talent. We do have Dream. He's probably the only good one that comes to mind. But other ones that are on the other side of that, Braun Strowman is a homegrown talent. I think Alexa Bliss is. So you could see uh,
yeah.
the homegrown talent nowadays. eh,
The best.
let's just say the independent scene has the majority of people that end up being stars. Stars.
Mm.
Or at least are over with the hardcore audience, man. Yeah. So here we are to give you our four Mount Rushmore of yeah. What the fuck? I keep stumbling. God, I keep stumbling over my words.
It's good.
It sounds like I have a lisp. Here we are to give you our top four people that come to mind when we think of independent talents. You wanna kick us off with the kickoff?
Well,
But
I have
before you
Chris.
start, what do you think of the return of Raw Talk?
Oh, God. This is the way to just get people to use their free WWE network. No one's gonna watch Raw Talk. No one likes Raw. No one wants to watch Raw itself, let alone talk about it. No
Yeah,
one's gonna watch that show. So, yeah, what do you think about that show?
I think they're bringing back the wrong post show, man. I think we need Talking Smack back, bro. Talking Smack was fucking love that show. Loved it.
Amazing. Raw
Yeah,
Talk.
oh, I love it. Yeah, man, but I don't know, man. We'll probably talk about it Friday, man. But what do you got
Most
for our
definitely.
independence?
And I'm like, well, my first one, I have someone who's an older indie legend. But my number one, we got Chris Hero, bro. Now,
Who's
reason I
that?
chose Chris Hero, he sucks right now. He sucked in the movie. We know that. But thing is, like a lot of people nowadays, like you said, come from the indies. Rollins, Bryan, and everyone knows they come from the indies. But when you think about those people now, you think of their accomplishments in WWE. You really don't think. You just remember that they were in the indies at one point. So that's an exception with not Chris Jericho, with Chris Hero for me. When I think of Cassius Ono or Chris Hero, I don't think of him getting buried by Riddle or fucking
Oh
him
my
getting
god.
buried by who God knows else in NXT. I think of the indie day, fuck, of the indie days with fucking Chris Hero, man. Just just hearing about it, seeing it, and at one point he was employed with the company and he got fired, and the people got him to get re-signed. They were they and at, this happened I think around like it was I think it was around like 2013, 2014, around the time he got fired. So at the time, the indies were like real indie around those times. Like only really if you either knew the indies or you didn't. And most people didn't, but the indie people spoke enough at the time to get Chris Hero rehired, bro. So I think of the indies when I think about him. I think of what could be when I think about him. So definitely Chris Hero is my first pick on this Mount Rushmore. Who do you got?
Yeah, man. Surprisingly enough, man, I got one of Chris Hero's biggest rivals on here, man. I gotta go with CM Punk for my one spot. Now, I know when we all think of CM Punk, we all think of the pipe bomb and we all think of 2011, man, but without a shadow of a doubt, I think CM Punk is CM Punk is at the end of the day, he's at least for me, and I'm sure you as well. He's just the kind of person we all strive to be. I mean, the
Most
way this
definitely.
guy was so loyal to companies, and the reason I put him on here, man, he thinks in his mind. I remember, I think it was in 2012. I remember we watched this together. I think it was our freshman or sophomore WWE Network, the CM Punk documentary DVD.
Bro.
And he spoke a lot about the indies in there, and man, it just the matches he had put on with the likes of well, his ex best friend at this point, Cole Cabana, um, and Chris Hero, and just so Joe, Daniel
Mm.
Bryan, and Ring of Honor, and uh, even just all around the world, just like killing himself just for the love of the sport and the love of the fans, and just progressing just a I'm better than you straight edge type character. I think that to me definitely when I think of him, I think I definitely think of an indie legend, without a doubt, man. Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, he just killed himself before he got to WWE, and the amount of loyalty that he shed when he had to leave Ring of Honor, obviously you could tell how much that place meant to him, because he was one of the people who legitimately built that company, along with some other people, man. Obviously Nigel McGuinness, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, just to name a few, Tyler Black, aka Seth Rollins, Chris Hero. I mean, so many people. He's definitely one of the people that built the reputation for the Indies when it was at its peak, which was just a year and a half, 2 years ago. Uh, Now that we have an alternative, it's a little uh, the indies are a little bit more um, under the radar now that there's two major companies instead of just WWE. But still to this day, I mean, the indies just produce so many incredible people. And yeah, I mean, we all think of Summer of Punk. Even I do. I mean, when we think of CM Punk, we all think of 2011 Summer of Punk, man. But for me personally, it's hard not to think of the early stages and the people who built uh, some of these indie brands that we love today, such as Ring of Honor. So yeah,
Hmm.
man, what do you got next?
It's a great one, but my next one, a little bit of a different one. But for my next one, I got a woman, and this woman is Tessa Blanchard, bro. She's
I
like,
got Sean Spears. Who's
oh
that?
man, bro. Oh god. Uh, I gotta give
Dude,
you home.
all the people on this list, I can guarantee you, me and Sir K have got the response of who's that? Like, because in school, when we were in school just some odd months ago, in the past 4 years, we constantly tell people about who some of our favorite wrestlers are, and most of the time, I'd tell people Kenny Omega and Switchblade, and I'd always get the answer of who's that.
Who's that?
So,
Like, come
yeah,
on, man.
sorry, man.
So,
Tessa Blanchard, let's hear it.
uh, I picked her because when you
Yes.
think of indie women's wrestling, she's the first person you think about.
Mm.
There's a lot of great ones out there, but she's just the one that pops in your mind first. Just, you just yell at someone that knows what the indies is at least, and just say, think of an indies women's wrestler. They'll scream out Tess Blanchard. Because
Brandy
I mean,
Rhodes.
the fuck, Nyla Rose.
Jake the Snake.
The fuck? Yeah, bro, but she's. Then you think of indie women's wrestling, you think of her. You don't think of really, really anyone else, to be honest.
Yeah.
You rarely think of any other people except her, bro. She's great. She's basically the only thing, one of the only parts or people that's keeping Impact alive. Because I don't know how. I don't know why people are going to that company right now. I don't get it. People are loving that company right now. So, so yeah, bro. But
Yeah.
Tess Blanchard, bro, definitely star, bro. When someone says a woman they want to see in like WWE or AEW, Tessa Blanchard is always that woman. So she's definitely
Mhm.
on my number two list. What do you got?
What? Uh, uh, let's say, yeah, this fucking thing's fucking up all over the place. I don't know why. Okay. 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 Next up, man, I got man. I mean, I gotta put him on here, man. Speaking of Tessa Blanchard, I gotta put him on here because, well, I'll tell you in a minute. My number two is Ricochet.
Ooh.
Man, now the reason I put him on here, I believe it was like 2016 or 17. He was so talked about, and it was because of the fact that some people hated his style and other people loved it. Now,
Mhm.
what I'm talking about, which you can form your own opinion. Which, I mean, we all have our own about that kind of wrestling. Um, Now, his matches with Will Ospreay, the kind of like no sell matches, that got him so talked about and so known. I feel like it kind of was, maybe, if you think about it, the reason he had got so much like attention to his name. Like, yeah, Ricochet's great, and Ricochet was Prince Puma on Lucha Underground and stuff. But man, from what I can remember, everybody started talking about him because of how controversial like that style of wrestling was. Obviously, you have like the older people that absolutely fucking hated it, and then you have
Mhm.
kind of like the younger people who absolutely love it. Now, me personally, um, I don't mind it for like sequences, but like
Mhm.
when they did it for the whole match and it's kind of no selling, it gets a little like it gets a little annoying, obviously, because they're not selling anything, man. But like sequences, I don't mind, because like those no sell hop up sequences are great, man. But to me, dude, Ricochet is one of the most talented wrestlers, and he's not the him being so controversial to the wrestling community. Obviously, you can obviously throw Will Ospreay's name in there too, because obviously those matches were the most controversial. So if you could split this between either of the two, but I'm going with Ricochet because I like Ricochet. Uh, Take nothing away from Will Ospreay, but I really like Ricochet a lot. And it's sad to see what he's going through now, but yeah, Ricochet. Yeah, man, I think he besides that, just so many phenomenal matches. Obviously, aside from what got him so talked about, um, it's from what got him so talked about in the Indies. Obviously, other than that, he just put on so many like great matches, and he's just so popular amongst indie fans from what I can remember at the time, man, including myself and Sir K here, man, and fucking
Mhm.
he he was just so popular, and when he did get to NXT, we were all so excited, and his tragic death is one of the worst, obviously, because this dude, man, is just leaps and bounds better than 80% of the people they push to the moon.
Mhm.
And even through NXT, he's proved that and this is what I find so great about Ricochet is in NXT he proved that he is not just all flips and dives, because I mean I truly never looked at him as all flips and dives. I just genuinely just looked at him as a high flyer. Obviously, the shit with Will Ospreay is very controversial amongst different types of wrestling fans, but I feel like Ricochet um definitely earned his stripes in NXT, and he proved a lot of people wrong. A lot of people that say that he's not a real wrestler. He's just all flips and dives, and he put on some phenomenal matches in NXT. But even on the Indies, man, a lot of people just seem to ignore that because of how controversial his indie run was. Like I keep mentioning, obviously, and I mean, so many phenomenal matches. In my opinion, dude, those matches with Will Ospreay are I wouldn't say some of the best matches, just because a lot of those NXT matches are just phenomenal. But definitely some great matches. Some great matches that I've witnessed. And Will Ospreay, man, fucking Keith Lee. Um, there was a lot of people that basically most of the people in PWG. Um,
Hmm.
Keith Lee, Cedric. I mean, so many people, man, so many people. And yeah, I feel like Ricochet. You can throw Will Ospreay's name in here too, because I feel like those guys are so similar. In terms of how people look at them, it's ridiculous. Very, and they're very similar. I see what people. And in my opinion, bro, they put on some phenomenal matches. Like I said, the whole kind of no selling thing, I don't really like across the whole match, but but some sequences, man, fucking phenomenal. Those guys put on excellent matches, in my opinion, and I definitely think I de- I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but I think Ricochet is a better performer than Will Ospreay. Even though Will Ospreay's got the better finisher, I love the Os Cutter.
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
Ricochet is a better performer. Actually, I just think a lot. I just think we don't see it. That's all that
Hmm.
is, man. But yeah, I think Ricochet for sure is an indie legend. He left his mark on the indies, and he dude, what a freak athlete, man. I mean, just incredible, incredible. Ricochet is my number two, man. What's your number three?
And my number three spot, bro, we got Matt Hardy, bro.
Patty.
Matt Hardy. Now, bro, Matt Hardy, bro. He got so many people into the indies, bro. Or just to think about the indies, or just to give the indies, like, from. He brought a lot of WWE fans to the indies. His brother also helped, but it was mainly Matt and his ideas, bro. The broken gimmick became such a commodity on the indies, and when Impact, well, when he carried Impact at that time, um, just bro, just the way people would talk about just Ultimate Deletion and all that type of shit, bro. Broken Matt Hardy this, broken Matt Hardy that. Did you see it? Did you see it on Impact? Did you watch this for it? Like, it got so many diehard WWE fans to go and watch something else. Go and watch Matt Hardy and what he's doing, and then you're there. You like, oh, well, they got some good people on here. Let's see what they're doing. You got so many people into the indies through him leaving WWE and just creating this amazing character on the indies. And speaking of character, you don't really get characters on the indies, bro, which is so amazing to see Matt Hardy do it so unbelievably, bro. Everybody knows the broken Hardy gimmick. Everybody, most most people like or love it, bro. The rare person I hates it is just I don't get the hate for that gimmick, but some rare people do, probably like the fucking 40 plus people do, but 40 plus fans. But yeah, bro, it's just the Matt Hardy gimmick or the broken Hardy gimmick is such a big thing. And when they came back to this company, that's all people wanted to see him as, mainly Matt. Because to be honest, when they came back to the fans, it was more about Matt. It was more about Matt being broken in WWE. Because I mean, it was amazing to see Jeff back, man. And the company, of course, tried to push, Jeff over Matt Hardy, Extreme. But all the fans ever really wanted when they came back was the broken Hardys, broken Matt Hardy mainly. So to be able to do that and be able to get the such diehard WWE fans not only go watch other things, but when they come back, you want to just see what they did in other companies here, and just not bring back what they did before they left. And it's just so amazing to see how much he did on the Indies, how many people I fucking learned about through Broken Matt Hardy, like all the members of the K Bro, Young Bucks, like all that shit, bro. Matt Hardy is definitely on my indie Mount Rushmore list. For most definitely. Who do you got for your number three?
Yeah, man. Before I get on to that's a great one, and I just want to say, I think you're absolutely right. I think Matt. I think a lot of people wanted to see him back, broken, and
Mm-hmm.
the reason I think all of like our era type fans wanted to see Jeff come back as just Jeff, even though I'd have been fine with both, and I'm sure a lot of people would have, is because of the fact of like what Jeff could have been. Like honestly,
Mm-hmm.
he was outselling Cena in merchandise. Like he so popular. So like
Mm-hmm.
it's so sad that he had to leave in what seemed like what was about to be the prime of his WWE run, man. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
really like that one. I really like that one. I think you hit that right on the head. But next up, so, but okay, my next one, man, is not the villain of the Indies, but it's the hero, Chris Hero. Now, I would love to see that match in AEW. Chris Hero,
Yo.
Marty Skrull, the hero
Yo.
versus the villain. That would be sick. Yeah, man, dude.
That'd be
Very
fun.
first person that comes to my mind when I see a Ring of Honor logo, a
Mm-hmm.
PWG logo. You know what I mean? Like it's Chris Hero. Like any kind of indies, man. I just think of Chris Hero because talk about somebody who literally goddamn near spent his whole life on the indies, just just being great, man. And obviously, when you're on the indies, you get a lot of chance to meet a lot of fans more than WWE. Only because of the fact. Now, I'm pretty sure you meet more fans in WWE, but like in the indies, man, like when I went to AAW, and that's another one he was in as well, Chicago based. For everybody went to AAW. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were there. Man, when I went, like those wrestlers before the show, they're out there like 2 hours before the show starts, just interacting with the fans, and it's not like a WWE meet and greet where you have to, where it's very quick, it's very, hi, you've done so much for me, I love you so much, picture gone, you know what I mean? Thankfully, I was very little when I met John Cena, and that that like minute and a half I got like an hour just because what was happening, obviously being so little and such a John Cena mark. I was just in complete awe. It's almost like you hear a lot of basketball players talk about how like when they were little, like Michael Jordan was one of those things that only lived in a TV. Like they didn't know he existed because he's just
Mm-hmm.
they're just in complete awe when they met him. Uh, that's how it was for me. Like he was just one of those guys. Same with Punk. I'd say Cena and Punk were in the same boat. Well, not really. I mean, I loved CM Punk, but I just loved everything about John Cena, man. And yeah, when I met him, I was just in complete awe. But yeah, thankfully I was little when that happened, man. But when you go to those indie shows, you honestly just get to have a conversation. I, when I went, I had just legitimately talked to Brody King. Am I saying that right? Is that the right one? Yeah, yeah, Brody King.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many Brodies I get mixed up. I'm like,
Sure.
Bruiser Brody, Brody Lee, Brody King. So many Brodies. Yeah, Brody King, the one in Villain Enterprises. Um, just such a cool guy. Sammy Callahan was another one who on social media is a complete asshole, but like when I was talking to him, he's just like the coolest fucking guy, and he just like loves this sport like so much. I remember him telling me about how many hours he's been up that day. He was telling me he was up like 17 hours, and he was driving here, and he was telling me he was driving to the venue tired as shit, and he got there like 20 minutes before the show started. I was like, wow.
Shit,
Um,
shit.
but yeah, obviously being in the indies, you get to experience the more of hardcore fans and actually talk to them. And it's, man, if you haven't been to one of those AAW shows, if you're from the Chicago area, I'm not sure what other local wrestling promotions any other states have. Obviously, I know New York has like House of Glory and stuff. But man, AAW is the Chicago-based one. And man, if you're in this area and you're familiar with the people on the show, I encourage you to go to them. Cause those people, they actually just take time to just talk. They appreciate the fans. Not saying that people in WWE don't, but WWE meet and greets are just way more organized. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? But yeah, so Chris Hero got to do that damn near his whole life. If it wasn't for the fans, man, he would have never even came back. Obviously, he was very popular at the time and evolved, and he came back. And honestly, I thought there was going to be so much promise for him challenging Nakamura and Bobby Roode, but things just didn't fall that way, which comes to no surprise on how Vince likes his talent. Obviously, Chris Hero doesn't have the ideal build that Vince McMahon dreams about, which is fucking ridiculous. Because same thing I said for Ricochet, he can out wrestle 80. I'd even say 85 to 90% of those guys that you push down our throats,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, Chris Hero, like I said, when I think of anything indie, I think of Chris Hero. For
Mm-hmm.
sure, just because this guy, from being skinny to where he is now, just put his body on the line for uh just these independent shows, and he is the biggest indie legend in my opinion. When I think indie, I think of Chris Hero, man, and yeah, man. What do you got for your last one?
And am I number one? My last one, bro. I have the Bullet Club, bro. I think it's an obvious one, but just that group starting with fucking Tom Tonka, um Prince Devitt, Bad Luck Fale, and I think
Who's
like two
that?
more, bro. Just ever since their start, bro, they just produced and just held in their fucking in their stable, just stars, just future stars, man. Like Finn Balor, Prince Devitt. Look at him now. He came to NXT, bro. He came to NXT. He ran shit. It was amazing. The Demon was amazing. He went up. They were really pushing him. They had him be the first Universal Champion. He got injured, came back,
Yeah.
and yep. And then his main roster. After that main roster run happened. But
Ooh.
now look at him, bro. He's the Prince in
Jeez.
NXT, and it is some great shit now. He had a bad
Yeah.
period for a good like 2 or 3 years, but now he's all back, doing
Uh-huh.
good. Shut the fuck up.
I'm hyping you up.
They hyping me.
That was
So
great.
then, shut the and other people, like other leaders, AJ Styles, bro. A lot of people knew about AJ Styles before he went to the Bullet Club, but after the Bullet Club, he was an even bigger star. He went from being the big guy, or not the big guy, a big star in TNA to New Japan. And now look at him. Well, now he's
Damn.
not the best. But look at his 2016. Look at his debut in WWE, bro. Look how hot he was at that time. Look how much people marked for him at the time. Shit was crazy, bro. Um, and the leader after that, Kenny Omega, bro. A lot of people, when they think of indies, they specifically think of him, bro. Because before AEW was even a concept, people knew him as the greatest wrestler to never go to WWE. And now look at him, bro. He's de- People know him. And, bro, the OGs, too. The OGs, bro. That Civil War will be probably one of my favorite storylines I've ever seen, bro. That shit was just amazing. Just all of them individually and together are amazing, bro. And then there's Hangman Page, such an underrated member of the Bullet Club, bro. Amazing, great talent, hilarious. Fucking his alcoholic gimmick is great. It's amazing. And then Marty, bro. People know Marty. You think of Marty, you think of the Plague Mask. You think of the Umbrella. You think of how cool he is, and it's fucking awesome ass theme song, bro. Um, and then probably to me the two most important members of the Bullet Club, the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. I'm gonna talk about Young Bucks right now, bro. Talk about being the most influential tag team in this era, man. Like, look at what they done, bro. They killed it in every company they ever went in. Well, I mean, they appeared in WWE once a couple of years ago and they jobbed, but you don't talk about that. But look at all they did in TNA. I'm pretty sure they visited TNA on multiple occasions. Look at what they did in ROH in New Japan, bro, and look where they are now. They are one of the founding fathers of AEW, bro. Like, and then there's Cody, bro. Cody Rhodes, the son of Dusty Rhodes. And my God, man, what an influential person as a whole, man. Help create AEW, man. Help inspire people. Like he is his dad, bro. He really is, bro. And when you think of indies, you think of Bullet Club. You think of all those people listed below. You think of that iconic Bullet Club logo, bro. It'll be forever remembered, at least in our generation, as that iconic ass logo, bro. And then all that mark ass shirts they had. People will always remember that merch. The amazing shirts they made. They still make. And the new Bullet Club leader, Switchblade, amazing talent. One of the most, probably the most underrated person in New Japan. I hate the beard. I hate the beard, but he's just one amazing talent that gets fucked over so much by New Japan because they just gotta do it for Okada. But yeah, bro, Bullet Club. When you think of indie, whether you know the indies or don't, you think of the Bullet Club. Who do you got at your number 10, bro?
Number 10? Oh
Fuck
shit.
yeah, man.
Man, keeping up with the
Mhm.
tradition of the Bullet Club, my last one is also the Bullet Club, man. I mean, when you talk about the indies producing great people, look at the Bullet Club. That is like its own developmental system. Uh, dude, starting from the days where it was only four members, man. Machine Gun,
Oh, geez, that's
Tama Tonga, Fale, and Finn Balor. Man, I mean, Finn, obviously. Finn went on to be one of the great, probably the greatest heel in Japan at the time, and Machine Gun as well. Eventually, Gallows would come into the group, and those guys there was a point in time where they were legitimately considered one of, if not the best tag team in the world. And at the time, one of the side tag teams of the Bullet Club ended up being the Young Bucks, man. And obviously, they would come into play a little bit later, but Man, Tama Tonga and Bad Luck Fale ended up being good little soldiers and staying with New Japan. But dude, Gallows and Anderson obviously went on to go to WWE and have a massively underwhelming run there. And yeah, I mean after that, man, it turned into the AJ Styles show and Bullet Club, man. And AJ was one of the guys I was gonna put on here, but I would technically had him on here twice, but I was gonna put AJ on here for the run before the Bullet Club, just because of how many people knew of him in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's a TNA legend, along with the likes of, Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels and Bobby Roode and a lot of those guys, man. But yes, AJ Styles would go on to just run shit over there. And while he was the top man in charge, one of the other little side pieces there was Kenny Omega, man. Which same with the Young Bucks, he would come into play a little bit later, man. But yeah, AJ would end up reaching the highest point of his career there. Other than 2000, late 2016, he was highest point on the Indies, man. Obviously, that tremendous match with Nakamura at Wrestle Kingdom to then show up in the Royal Rumble, I believe, just a couple weeks later, man. And yeah, AJ would then be kicked out by Kenny Omega, and during that was that was at the time, I believe, Adam Cole was in the group by then.
Mm-hmm.
Adam fucking Cole, man. I mean, already the amount of people that have came out of Bullet Club has brought them to tremendous heights. Adam Cole, obviously, like I said, being one of them, being one of those guys that just the Bullet Club Baby intro. It's one of my favorite indie theme songs um, ever, man. And yeah, he would then be kicked out and be replaced by the villain Marty Scurll. Somewhere along the lines, Cody Rhodes was in there, Hangman Page, which man, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega, as well. Kenny Omega and Cody would go on to have their little fight for leadership, um, in the Bullet Club, and they would I remember they had a really really good match
Mm-hmm.
at one of the ROH shows over who's the leader of the Bullet Club, and yeah, I mean, obviously. Obviously, there was those two. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. I guess we'll just start with Marty Scurll. Well, no, we'll start with Adam Cole. Adam Cole, man, obviously, since leaving the Bullet Club, he would go to Ring of Honor. He would show up in NXT, man, and the rest is history. To be honest, I mean, we all know and love the Undisputed Era. Obviously, this guy has made a life for himself with. Apparently, we got some news. We got some news on him on Friday, man. About his situation. We brought to you his contract situation, so we got some news for you guys on Friday regarding Adam Cole. But man, Adam Cole, uh, yeah, I mean, Bullet Club transcended him, and also Marty Scurll as well. I'm wearing my Bullet Club shirt now, man. I mean, just one of the most likable characters on Being the Elite, and just in the Bullet Club. Obviously, Sir Kay had mentioned it, man. When you see Jesus Christ, man, when I see a fucking umbrella, the most basic of basic things, I think of Marty Scurll, and even especially when I think of especially when I see a plague mask, I also think of Marty Scurll, man. When I hear when I see a crow, I think of Marty Scurll, or isn't that the sound? The
Mm-hmm.
yeah. When I see a crow, I think of Marty, man. Well, I think of kind of like Marty and the Undertaker, just because of those old Undertaker vignettes. But Marty Skrull, dude, is, like I said, is one of the most enjoyable, likable characters out of the Bullet Club. And it sucks that we haven't seen him in AEW. But if you guys watched last Friday, man, hopefully last week's Being the Elite was any indication that we should. Um,
Mhm.
and I hope so, dude, because I mean, not that they need him. Well, they kind of do, but like, let's just get, dude. Marty would be so fucking. I love Marty Skrull, bro.
Mhm.
That match at All In with Okada was so kick ass. I love that match. You remember that match at All In with Okada?
Oh, bro, that match was
It was
amazing.
such a good match. I fucking love that one. Um, yeah, man. Next up, jeez. Honestly, it's hard to start with these guys, man. I'll just do all of them at the same time. Obviously, Kenny, all of the executive vice presidents, man. Kenny Omega, starting with him. Wow. Sir K said it, man. Probably the greatest wrestler to never go to WWE. Uh, Obviously he was in their developmental program, but never really made it to television. Um, yeah, and dude, Kenny, I can't tell you how many great Kenny Omega matches we've seen, dude. Fucking, especially with the Dynamite starting, but even before that, man. Dude, the countless G1s against literally anybody. The matches with Okada is phenomenal. The matches with Chris Jericho, just great, phenomenal matches. Man, and the matches with Cody, and even now, obviously he was one of the. They say he was the least part in creating AEW, but still, I mean, he had a hand in it, man. And what matters is that in they all believed in a in a movement, pretty much. AEW was a movement. From a talent perspective, it's fantastic for the talent to have an alternative. Um, and yeah, man, and Kenny Omega is phenomenal on the Indies. I mean, this guy's an absolute legend in Japan. Sold out Tokyo Domes. I mean, he's just fantastic. And the Young Bucks, man. Um, a lot of people say if it wasn't for Matt Jackson, there would be no AEW, which is crazy to think about, man. I mean, dude, the Young Bucks, dude, I don't understand the hate that these guys get. I really don't. Their whole run has just been believing in themselves, and that's something
Mhm.
that fucking everybody should do. You know what I mean? I mean that's they honestly should, man, and these guys did, and they definitely accomplished it because AEW has turned out to be a resounding fucking success ever since its launch. There was a little down period, which is fine because it takes time to build up a roster with depth and with credibility. Obviously, that stuff all takes time, but
Mhm.
for the people that said 205 Live needs time to work, dude, you have all the talent. It was the booking, but not with
Mhm.
AEW, man. AEW, there was a little bit of down just because of the whole rinse and repeat. But like I said, man, it takes time to build a roster with depth. You can only do so much with so many people. But they tried, and it's
Mhm.
been a resounding success. And moving on, man, Cody Rhodes, man, he's given so many of his deserving friends a chance. You mentioned how he you earlier mentioned how he was an inspiration, man. One of the people that he, from the sounds of it, inspired, man, was Sean Spears. Sean Spears has completely revamped his his character. Obviously, a Double or Nothing, he was made to look like a joke. But I don't know if you guys seen this on Instagram. I know I sent it to you. But Tully Blanchard cut a wicked promo on his ass, man, and hopefully we can start to see a more badass Shawn Spears, because I know you hate the Mohawk, man, but I'm down for it. I think he's got the look. I think he's got the look to be a legit badass. I know you hate the Mohawk. I'm not a big fan of it myself, but I don't know, man. I see something in him if he were to just be a little more serious and edgy. Like I love the spot where he hit Cody in the head with the chair, but then when he started calling himself the chairman, it was like it's just kind of cringy. Like really, that wasn't creative. The chairman, really. But yeah, Cody, man. I mean, now I'd say he is the leader of the. Now I'd say he's the leader of the elite. But in Japan, I mean that's Kenny's yard, man. You
Mm-hmm.
can't really. It's hard. Japan is his game, man. He just is born and bred for that style, which is obviously why he is a living legend in Japan. Yeah, Cody Rhodes. Uh, I believe he was on my Mount Rushmore of people who had done most for the business, or if he wasn't, then he was definitely an honorable mention, which I'm pretty sure he was, but it was either him or Dusty I
Mm-hmm.
put on there, but regardless, Sir K said it best, man. This guy is a reincarnation of his father. He's done so great for this business. He created All Elite Wrestling, which is a grown man's escape from these childish shows that we get served to us on a week to week basis. And yeah, man, this all led to the Civil War, which I know this is one of Sir Kate's favorites, and it is definitely my favorites. The B and E elites were at tip top during the Civil War. The turns, Tamatanga and that group just completely revamped their whole how people looked at them. And dude, Tamatonga's got one of the best cutters. He's got the best cutter in wrestling for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about the RKO. Tamatonga's cutter, phenomenal ass cutter, bro. And too bad we didn't get to see Carl Anderson use it, but obviously in WWE that's a sacred move under Randy Orton, which is fine because he's made the move so popular, but it just kind of sucks when you can't see guys who have such great cutters not use them, like Machine Gun Carl Anderson, man. And
Mm-hmm.
Civil War, man, obviously that later introduced, after all of the elite left, dude, that later introduced the Switchblade as the leader of the Bullet Club, and that was fucking amazing. I love Switchblade. That guy does not get enough credit in Japan. I know they love Okada, man, but there's got to be some way, shape, or form you got room for somebody else, bro. You can't always be Okada. There's many more titles for him to win. They should have let Switchblade hold on to that championship for just a little bit longer. But yeah, dude, Switchblade, just phenomenal. I hate the beard. I know you do too, bro. But honestly, man, regardless of the beard, just incredible. Love Switchblade. And that's where Bullet Club stands now. I mean, just rising people to popularity, and is will forever be remembered. Even if, one day, if that faction is dead and gone, instilled in our hearts will always be the Bullet Club. You know, just because of the original logo. Not only that, man, all the custom logos. I know
Mm-hmm.
I had to go and buy me all of the Elite Bullet Club shirts before they were discontinued. I believe I have every member. I have Marty, Kenny, Bucks, Cody, Hangman, and then the Switchblade one, man, and I also have a Firing Squad. But yeah, just because these shirts are so badass and they're such a mark ass shirt, and yeah, like I said, man, these guys will forever be remembered. One day, if this faction is dead and gone, it will always be instilled in our hearts forever. So many great people came out of it, and so many great people are in it now. So yeah, man, sorry for going on, but yeah, that's Bullet Club for me, bro.
Most
Okay.
definitely, man.
Yeah, next up, baby faces. Baby faces,
Mhm.
man. Yeah, a lot of great faces. Do you do you want to start us off with this
Yeah, man.
one?
Uh, yeah, I'll start us off, bro. And my
Thank
first
you.
one. Oh, you're welcome. That was a good one. But
Thank you.
most
Thank you.
definitely that was amazing. But
You as
my
well,
first
sir.
face. Thank you, sir. The first face I got on my list, bro, is Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Hey, you
bro.
know what's cool? It's like a face, like a Mount Rushmore. You know how that's all faces. Get it? Okay,
Shut
keep
the
going.
fuck up. But yeah, bro. My first, my first one, bro, is Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro. Cause, bro, when you think of a guy you want to mark for, you want to root for, one of the first people that everybody thinks, even people who are barely fans of the sport, is Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro. People love him. People, just people want to do the same thing he did, bro. Who doesn't want to beat their boss up? I know you do. So, like,
No,
like, bro, who doesn't want to fucking have a match with their boss and beat the shit out of him? Who doesn't
I
want to
do.
stand up for what's right? Like, and the fans at the time loved it, and people still do just love it so much. And he basically created that stand up to authority gimmick or just storyline and idea. He was the main guy behind that. He was the one that got that popular. He's people mark every time he fucking um, breaks two beers over his head and drinks that shit, man. He is what every wrestling fan at his time was or wanted to be. They all fucking drank beer because they were all like 40. Fucking, they all hated their boss and they just wanted to beat him up. And that was literally, he was their dream. And just, he's remembered now for the same exact thing, bro. People love him. He, they use him for a cheap pop all the time. You know what I mean? Raw 25, cheap pop. You know,
Yeah.
like, like he's just such a legendary figure, just a loved and legendary figure, and he's definitely number one on, well, not number one, but he's definitely the first one on my Mount Rushmore. So, yeah, who do you got first?
First up, man, you're gonna go with Stone Cold, man, and I'm gonna go with who a lot of people say is the modern version of Stone Cold. I got CM Punk on here, man, dude. CM Punk was the modern Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
He modernized what was the Stone Cold gimmick in such a polar opposite way. Obviously, being Stone Cold is a drunk, and CM Punk is the exact opposite. And
Right.
yeah, but yeah, dude, CM Punk put on so many great segments, just bashing Vince McMahon. Uh, yeah, I mean, just bashing him, going off the rails, talking about Colt Cabana and David Hurt Smith and a lot of his friends who got horribly treated by the company for no reason. And CM Punk was the voice of the voiceless. And like I said, man, that is something that we should all strive to be. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, yeah, I mean, he embodied what it meant to stand up to your boss. Other than Stone Cold, obviously, Stone Cold's probably the most popular one, but yeah, but CM Punk, man, and no, no, not to undermine him, man. He is definitely one of the greatest baby faces. Obviously, so relatable. He wanted to stand up to your boss, which obviously he did, bashing not only Vince McMahon but Triple H and John Laurinaitis. and it's another guy, man, who will absolutely be remembered for it, and his legacy will live on forever, man, for sure. Obviously, the pipe bomb, that's the infamous, I didn't even have to bring that up, everybody knows the pipe bomb, bro. One of the greatest, if not the greatest promo, in wrestling history, man. Obviously, just such a legit, such a legit moment, so real. And CM Punk at the time brought a lot of people that were getting out of the company back into the company. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and and when you can find that in a superstar, that is somebody you can hang your hat on, because that's obviously somebody who can generate buzz for your company, and by God, he did. Um,
Oh,
and he is just amazing, amazing, so loved by everybody, because he believed what he said, and that is what truly makes a great character. He believed what he said, man, and he stood by it till death. You know what I mean? He
yeah.
left his mark on that company for sure. He definitely did. And yeah, man, he will always be remembered, for me especially, and I know for you, man, and for a lot of people around the world, obviously. Um, and what a great thing to teach the youth, the straight edge.
Mm-hmm.
Not that doesn't get preached around a lot, because a lot of
Mm-mm.
people that are straight edge, including ourselves, um, a lot of people think it's weird, which it's not fucking
Mm-hmm.
weird. It's a movement. You know what I mean? It's something we
Mm-hmm.
believe, and whether people think it's right or wrong, it's what we believe. And if it's right to us and we're happy with ourselves,
That's
fuck
all
them.
that matters.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you're exactly right. That's all that matters, and that's what CM Punk stood for. His revolution. You know what I mean? The punk revolution, or the rider revolution. Now it's gonna be the Cordona Revolution. But yeah, it was Punk's revolution, man, and it's something that inspired me as a kid, man, and I'm sure you as well, bro. And for that reason alone, CM Punk is on my Mount Rushmore of baby faces for sure. Definitely taught me taught me so much as a kid. Obviously, I've explained that to you guys before, man. Sir K, you know all about it, bro. But and you as well for sure. Just
Most definitely.
just guided, a leader, a true leader in CM Punk, and that is what it means to be a babyface. Again, sorry for talking too much, but what do you got as your number three?
I'm my number three. Wait. Am I? Wait. Wait.
Number two.
Am I number two? Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
you go from one up and I go from four down. It's all right. What do you got for
I
your
got you.
next?
That's good. That's good. My next one is
Yes.
none other
Hmm.
than Daniel Bryan,
Wow.
because he's kind of similar to Stone Cold in a way where it was against authority. Because a lot of people, especially nowadays, look at what's happening in the world, are pushed down by the man, by the one in charge, by that type of shit, man.
Wins.
Who wins? Exactly. Vince McMahon. So when you see someone not just like, beat them up and, chug beers and just party, or not party, but like to celebrate. When you see someone just work their ass off and just grind and fucking put their blood, sweat, and tears into something and just keep getting denied and denied and pushed down further and further, that's just all inspiring, man. Daniel Bryan and his story is one of the most inspiring in professional wrestling, because that's a lot of people, man. And you could put his story in a lot of different like ways and aspects, whether it's your height or your fucking your look, your color, your dick size, you know.
What the fuck? What the fuck? You ain't gonna
Like
be in WrestleMania because your dick ain't big enough.
your dick small, you
What?
know. Bro, what? Yeah, bro, but like no matter what it is, a lot of people are put down and just not let to be,
Oh, I
risen up
get
in the
it.
ranks of whatever there is.
Batista's
Yeah,
dick earned him the spot in WrestleMania 30.
It did, bro. Every day I teased it.
What the fuck?
I wonder who started that rumor. I want to know. But like yeah, bro. Daniel Bryan. When you think of a hero, you think of Daniel for someone that
Chris Hero.
defied the man.
Oh, sorry.
Fucking Mark. Someone that defied the man, didn't go with what was told, didn't do what was already written down in the script and shit like that, man. He's someone that fight for what he believed in so much that, they were forced to, change WrestleMania. They were forced to change their plans, make him the champ. And that could go, again, with a lot of people parallel to their real lives. Maybe their boss didn't want to give them the promotion, but they worked so hard and showed it to their boss that their higher ups made him have a promotion. Shit like that, man. It's just so much in parallels to people, and especially modern times and just recent times. It just speaks to so many different people. Almost everybody can have a Daniel Bryan like story, man. So he's a hero to all, man. Anybody can interpret his story, and just believe in him and just be him and just rise, and just do it, man. Just the little guy getting it all once again, man. So yeah, man. Daniel Bryan is definitely on my list or on my Mount Rushmore of baby faces. He's one of the people I guarantee think of. Who do you got for your second one?
Yeah, man. For me as well, dude. In my number two spot, I also have the yes man, Daniel Bryan, man. In no way, shape, or form is he a yes man, which is the ironic part about it.
Absolutely.
Because man, his climb, dude, dating back to 2010. Talk about
Mm-hmm.
a guy who had so much experience, who was put on a game show where he was made to look like a rookie. Like, how disrespectful is that to one
Mm-hmm.
who has worked his fucking ass off his whole career, basically, just to be made to look like a rookie, you know what I mean, and made to look like the Miz, who is one of, listen, I love the Miz for his character work, but who is one of the most unbonafide stars in the ring, obviously in the ring, not character work, man. But in the ring, you're made to look like you're being trained by him. You know what I mean? That is
Mm-hmm.
so disrespectful to one
Yeah.
who fucking traveled the globe just busting his ass to get where you're at, man. And when and and he did, and then he's made to look like that. Like, to me, man, that wasn't right on their part, man. And Daniel Bryan, regardless, man, he was fired, man. And if it wasn't for John Cena, he wouldn't have got rehired. And he ended up coming back, and ever since that, man, it was just it's just an uphill battle for him, obviously, until he ran into the authority in 2014. And man, words of our own here at the Notorious Heels podcast, man. Talk about the little man just getting it all, just rising up and getting it all,
Mm-hmm.
man. The little man just fucking getting it all, man. Like our own said here, just taking it all, man. Just every bit of it. The little guy. Um, and and, and he did it.
He
And
did it all.
Turkey said it best, man. I mean, there's so many aspects to the Daniel Bryan story, man. Whether you look at it as how tall you are, or how you look, what management thinks of you, just rise above the hate. You know what I mean? And that, man, is it's so inspiring to every walk of life, really. I mean, it really is. It's just so inspiring to so many kids, even fucking adults, bro. and just just such a liked fight from behind character, man. And honestly, what was so cool about their different fights against the authority, if you will, is uh Daniel Bryan was more of the sympathetic, I'm gonna prove it to you, and CM Punk was more badass about it. He
Hmm.
was more like, fuck you. And Daniel Bryan was the same, but Daniel Bryan was like, I'll show you. CM Punk is more of, I don't
Hmm.
have to prove anything to you. You know I'm a star. You just don't want to see it. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that to me is what made each individual storyline against the authority intriguing for me. And yeah, dude, it's just amazing, obviously, the two storylines. But Daniel Bryan, man, obviously so over. And yeah, man, is the leader of what we know today as the Yes Movement, man, and such a sympathetic, fight from behind, likable babyface. We've only seen one since then, man. So, what do you got next? What do you got for number three?
On my number three spot, I think I have who you were just gonna talk about or just referenced.
Booker T?
On my number three spot, I have Sheamus. Just
Oh man, I love his fight to the top. He was so little, just
oh
getting it
yeah.
all. The little man
Nah,
is
bro.
getting it all.
Fuck,
So you were talking
man.
about Byron Saxton?
Oh yeah, man. Byron Saxton, bro. David Otunga, bro. No, no, bro. My number three, bro, is Johnny Gargano.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
Cause
Johnny Curtis. Damn it, that's mine.
Johnny Curtis is trash ass.
Those gay ass original gimmicks they gave them.
I swear, man. But bro, Johnny Gargano. Talk about a babyface you just felt for, man. It's not as much about the system with Gargano. It's just about betrayal and just having just your best friend, your brother, just turn on you, bro, and just
Oh,
ruin your career, ruin your life,
damn.
just to prove that he was better than him. And that, while at the time when, Champ was a heel, he was talking about how Johnny thought it was always about him and, shit like that. And with Gargano, man, it's just a story of, like I said, betrayal and just finally just doing it.
Yeah, just say it.
Like, finally just winning.
Getting it all.
Like,
Oh.
yeah, finally just getting it all, man. Finally
Oh.
going in.
Oh.
Cause the the Gargano fairy tale basically was Gargano
Yes.
had it all,
Oh.
man. He had his best
Oh.
friend beside him. They were winning. They were running shit, man. And then he gets betrayed, and he just can't win anymore. And it goes on, and it goes. It's people using his best friend against him, using his past, using just everything, and then finally, at his biggest opportunity of his life, he loses.
Yeah.
And after the biggest loss of his career, his ex best friend comes back to attack him in the back, and that just starts just the God feud of 2018, man. That Gargano and Ciampa feud was so amazing. But again, the story about Gargano, biggest opportunity of his career, lost. After that, his biggest fear, his biggest enemy, his worst creation, came back and attacked him. And now his mission is to end Tommaso Ciampa. And then, we all know Black won the NXT title. Ciampa got the title match, and in the title match, bro, he tries to stop the biggest enemy and the biggest thing, fucking evil himself to Gargano. He tries to stop him from winning it all, and in his attempt to stop it, his like actions to try to stop it is what gets him to gets Ciampa to win the title, and it just goes on, man. Ciampa, amazing, best NXT title run, and just Gargano's just trying his hardest. He attacks Aleister Black because he believes that he must be the one to end what he created. He thinks he's the only one that can just stop this reign of terror in his mind that Ciampa is just filling, and sadly, I can call it, it evolves into them getting together again, them teaming again, both on the bad side. But lo and behold, Gargano still wanted to end Tommaso Ciampa, but Ciampa gets injured, and his biggest threat's gone once again, man. So what does he do? He goes and he finally wins the NXT title, only to lose it again. And now he eventually he's broken right now. I think this is him, his mind, he just finally gave up on himself. I think that's this heel Johnny. He finally gave up on himself. Now he believes that that he's tired of the fans and that type of shit.
He's got to do it his own way.
Exactly, but I think the story is deep down. He's gonna be a babyface again, and
Yeah.
he's gonna do it again, and that's just an amazing story of just triumph, of just trying your hardest, even when you don't succeed, you get back up and you try it again, do it again and again and again. So Gargano, man, he's just a symbol of just never giving up, just no matter what life hits you. Gargano's someone that always got up, inspires people to get up. So he's definitely my third spot on my Mount Rushmore. Who do you got?
Great minds think alike again, man. I got the guy I was just talking about, Sir K. You pointed it out, man. You guessed it. The guy that the only sympathetic, very sympathetic babyface we've got since Daniel Bryan era came 4 years later in the form of Johnny Wrestling, man. 2018, you could even say 3 years later, 2017, really.
Mm.
Man, I mean, just as much as you thank Gargano for being such a great babyface, you gotta thank Ciampa because every babyface needs a heel that's just as good. And Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano are in-ring soulmates, if you will. These guys were just meant to feud, and with these guys never getting the proper blow-off match, these guys, it's like the wrestling gods telling us there should never be an ending to this feud. These
Mm-hmm.
guys will go on to fight forever, if you will, man. These guys are obviously NXT lifers, which I'm completely fine with that. And because these guys are NXT. You can say that so many people made NXT, man, but these guys put NXT on a map to a different level, and that's no disrespect to the Asukas and the Baileys and the Finns and the Nakamura's, but these two guys, their feud was so good, it brought NXT to the mainstream. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's for you to decide, but for me, I would have rather liked if NXT stayed more underground, but still, man, obviously, as we're witnessing Ricochet's gay jog to the ring again, I just want to start this off by saying, man, Johnny Gargano, man, when DIY broke up, way to turn a very bad negative of Gargano being the only breakout star in this group into an overwhelming positive with Ciampa just hating him for it. And Ciampa realizing that everybody sees something in him. What about me? And he turned on him, and Ciampa went away, man. And Gargano was telling a story that year of trying to get over the hump, and he could never until just the end of the year, man. And then he earned the title shot. We go to the championship match, and that was the greatest match I've ever seen to this day. every single fucking thing in that match said that Gargano was walking away with the NXT Championship, and he came this fucking close, but he just didn't get it, man. And right as everything was bad enough, his worst nightmare reemerges from the shadows, bro, and Tommaso Ciampa comes back just to rain hell down on Johnny Gargano's world. And Gargano lost his NXT contract, ended up getting re-signed at TakeOver New Orleans in that incredible match with Tommaso Ciampa. These guys would go on to have a feud over the summer, and I'm so glad we got to be a part of that during that summer, man. We got to witness the one of the second part of the trilogy that summer. And yeah, these guys had the summer feud in NXT, and that is how you book a summer feud, man. WWE and the main roster gets lazy. They get lazy for the summer feuds, man. They honestly do. I mean, just look at who Drew McIntyre is facing right now. But NXT, man, kicked that shit up a notch for the summer, and they made it one of the most enjoyable summers, man. I didn't have a job at the time, so that summer for me consisted of fucking just NXT, fucking bleed yellow, man, that whole summer, bro. And that is exactly what happened, man. And yeah, I mean, Sir Kay had mentioned it just now. Obviously, now we're being told Gargano's story of not believing in himself and giving up on himself, man. But sooner or later, I think he will rise up again. And this feud with Ciampa, these guys are gonna fight forever, man. They really are. I think that's just the wrestling gods uh, telling us that there should never be an ending to this feud. Um, yeah, man. So that's that's my number three, bro. What do you got for your last one?
At my last one, bro, I got none other than the guy himself, John Cena, bro. Bro, Cena is the ultimate inspiration, man. Ultimate, just great guy. Cause, I mean, it's an inspiration to so many kids. Just so many kids. And just even teenagers, adults. In his prime, bro, he got people through their days, through their nights, through the hardships in life, you know, man.
Oh, I know.
And yeah, and he's such a just a good image for the sport as a whole. Because when people think of wrestling, a lot of times people think of John Cena. And with John Cena, all you ever hear is just, oh, he's doing this Make-A-Wish thing. He's surprising the kid during quarantine. He's fucking helping an old lady across the street like he's Bobby Roode, you know? That's the type of shit you hear when you just see the news about John. When you see John Cena in the news, you always know it's some good wholehearted shit. He's just an inspiration, bro. He's just the image of positivity. He's, rise above hate. That's his, thing. That's his catchphrase. That's his shirt. That's his merch. That's him. He just inspires people to just rise above it all. Just no matter what you are, you can do it, even though he buries people a lot. Or he used to.
Damn.
Can't rise above him, though. Yeah, you can rise above a lot of things except him. But
Damn.
now he's over that. Now he's over the burying. But, yeah, man. Just seeing a man. When you think of positivity, when you think of a good guy, you think of John Cena. Just, like I said, the embodiment of just people's hero. Just the embodiment of just good. So
For sure.
Cena is definitely mine, top babyface on my Mount Rushmore of babyfaces. Who do you got?
What do you think?
What?
Who do you think?
It's Cena.
It's Roman Reigns. No, man. Obviously, if it wasn't any more obvious, Mine as well, man, is John Cena, bro. Man, I could go on for days on what this guy means to me. Um, you all know that, man. John Cena, man. Dude, where do I start with him? He got me into wrestling. Let's just start there, man. And like I said, man, and a kid who didn't have much guidance. He was my guidance, and he from a personal standpoint, I can say how much he's done for me, and I can only imagine what he does for these sick kids that he visits in Make-A-Wish, and he's surprising kids during quarantine. He's showing up to your fucking house. I can't even tell you what I would do if I was a little 8-year-old boy like I was once
Mm,
upon a time. If I fucking came downstairs and John Cena was sitting in on my couch. I was like when I met him, like I mentioned earlier, man, I was literally in complete awe. Like I said again, you hear a lot of these basketball players, their hero was Michael Jordan, and they talk about like I said earlier, how they felt like he only existed in the TV, and when they seen him in person, they were just in complete awe. That's exactly, I can't describe it better than that. He was one of those things that he was my guidance through a TV screen, and that to me um is what that to me is just how powerful he was to me, man, and how much, like I said, I truly, not to sound cheesy, bro, but I truly can't put into words how much Cena has done for me, man. As a kid, that's a different story for a different day. But dude, this guy is the embodiment of a baby face. This guy is the embodiment of an inspiration, man. Or an image for the WWE, and you can't get any better than Cena, man. Like I said, man, when I met him, I remember I couldn't stop like hugging him. I remember I couldn't, and I couldn't. I did so much, man. I drew him like a little book because I used to draw, and I did all of his like colors, like his colored armbands, and I wrote down like all the facts about when he had that, about when he had with those colors. Like for example, I remember it was such a little mark. Like I did like Cena in purple, and then under it I put rivals, and then I wrote like Nexus, Miz, like all the people he rivaled with when he was in purple. And I'm sure it wasn't a good quality book because I was little, man, but dude, I was so excited to meet him. I honestly just treated it like he was one of my friends, man, and he was, man, because like I said, through a TV screen, he gave a kid from the age of 8 years old and up a an inspiration, and just somebody to look up to. Are not 8 years old, 5 years old. I just graduated high school, bro, from kindergarten.
mhm.
An inspiration, guidance, a leader, for a little kid, man. Because I mean that's what little kids need, man. They need guidance. Obviously, it makes us who we are, man. And I can genuinely say the people that I do look up to as leaders, are definitely the right people, man. As far as like idols go, obviously there's my parents, but as far as like, you know what I mean, like those like celebrity kind of people you look up to, I definitely picked the right ones for sure. But dude, Cena, the embodiment of a baby face, like I said, man, did so much for me, and I can only imagine what he did for so many sick kids, obviously, that were going through something. Obviously, Make-A-Wish deals with a lot of cancer and a lot of life-threatening diseases. Obviously, I probably can't even tell you how many kids he helped through those kind of treatments and stuff, and John Cena is the greatest of all time in my opinion, for sure. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's my last baby face, man. John Cena, dude. He again done so much for me. I truly can't put into words how much he means to me. And yeah, man, that's what I got for my baby faces, man. So yeah.
Most definitely, man. I love it. great choice, bro. Great choices.
You as well. What was your list? I
My
think we only
list?
had one off, right? You had
Yeah,
Stone Cold and I had Punk.
yeah.
Yeah, man,
Well,
that just goes to show how great the baby faces on this list were. Heels.
absolutely, man.
As we wrap up here, heels. Would you like to start us off, sir?
At the number one spot, or not the number, at the first
The
one,
10,
we
the
got
10 spot.
number 10 in my Mount Rushmore of four people. I have a little bit of a different one. I have Neville
Yeah.
slash Pac. You know, same person, but kind of
Oh,
different. And the reason I put him on there because bro, talk about being just a straight just badass. Just you knew it was up with yourself. You knew that you were better than they were treating you, and you just acted like it, bro. Just didn't care what people say, bro. Just changed his look, became a beast. Fucking his attitude, bro, was fucking awesome, bro. His not give a fucking just disgust attitude was amazing, bro. Just and something I liked about it's a lot of little details I liked about fucking Neville slash Pac, mainly when he was Neville. Because to be honest, I prefer the King of the Cruiserweights over the Bastard. I'm gonna just be real with you guys.
same.
Um, but just the little changes, like the change in his entrance. Like first of all, I love the way he would walk in the ring with that title, the way he would just fucking swing it from his fucking arms. But when he got to the ring, when he got in, he would just run at the ring post and stop. Like because he used to run at the ring post, jump on the ring post and start doing the babyface shit. But when he was heel, he would go to do it and stop and realize like, nah, man, I can't ever go back to that because that being good is what held him down. Little shit like that, bro.
Yeah.
Just everything like that, bro. I loved Neville, bro. Fucking when I had a universe mode, he was my world champion in fucking what 2017,
Remember
2018.
that? Oh, yeah.
So yeah, bro, he was an amazing heel. Just if you want a badass, just not give a fuck what other people think. Just not even just like a cocky asshole. You just want someone who knows what they can do and just is a badass about it. You go with fucking Neville slash Pac. So he's definitely the first one on my Mount Rushmore. Who do you got?
First one I got, man. Keeping up with the theme of all elite wrestling, bro. I have the Prodigy. Not Austin Theory. The other Prodigy. The real Prodigy. MJF. Dude, when you talk about potential, wow. And this guy is going to do it too. This guy
Mm-hmm.
will be the All Elite Wrestling World Champion. This guy is going to be AEW bred. This dude is so incredibly good at being a heel. It's not even funny. Like, this is shit we haven't seen since. This is old school shit, pretty much. He's
Mm-hmm.
flipping off kids. He's fucking flipping off adults. He's fucking telling Brandy Rhodes on Being the Elite that he's gonna tell Cody that she was groping him. I mean, this guy is just a fucking asshole, and it's amazing. MJF, dude, is like the prototypical beast heel. Like, just so good at being a heel, man, and although the accomplishments aren't there yet, this guy is a star of the future. And I don't see him being babyface. So that's why he's on this list. Because this, I can guarantee you in a year from now, I'm going to look at this list and I'm going to be like, yeah, that was a good choice. Because MJF,
Mm-hmm.
again, incredible amount of potential. Obviously, the accomplishments aren't there yet. The championships aren't there yet, dude. But people say Austin Theory's a prodigy. But dude, MJF, this guy has the world in his hands at this point, dude. This guy has the potential to be one of the greatest heels ever. And If he stays dedicated to it, which I'm pretty sure he will, without a doubt he will be for sure. He's gonna be a household name in a couple years. Mark my words, man. But MJF, bro, what a fantastic heel. I mean, this guy is the embodiment of what it means to be a fucking asshole. And he is. And he fucking plays the role phenomenally, bro. So, yeah, man, the championship this summer. I guarantee you it all out, MJF's going to win a championship, bro. And it's going to set up to make an even greater babyface, bro. But, yeah, man, what do you got for your number two?
And my number two spot, I originally had some a different group. A couple days ago, how I review like my list every day just to make sure, if I don't have it done, of course I work on it. But if I do, I just make sure that I agree with everything. And like 2 days ago, I was looking at the list, and I originally had in the spot Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era. And then I realized I was thinking of other like cocky dick heels, and then I thought of MJF. So I replaced him with MJF because, bro, like you said, he doesn't like. I originally had Cole there and stuff for their accolades and just being at the top for like 3 years, but MJF, man, they're great. And UE are amazing heels, but they're only as amazing as they could get in WWE. MJF, he got no limits,
He's
Like I
got the
said, he
world,
flips
yeah.
off. Yeah, he's flipping off kids, flipping off the kid's dad too. Dad was fucking laughing. Um, or no, I think afterwards the dad was pissed, but I remember at the time he was laughing. He's flipping off people in the crowd. He's fucking, um, he's just doing all this just heel dick ass shit that no one does anymore, because no one's really allowed to. But in AEW, he's got so much freedom. He can do whatever he wants. He could,
Mhm.
say whatever he wants, just do whatever he wants. And I think that's what elevates him. He could flip off a fucking Make-A-Wish kid. To it, I don't think he would,
Oh,
but he
shit.
can. I put MJF mostly for the potential. I mean, we already know he's amazing, but the potential other things he can do and his future accomplishments. Like you said, I don't know if he'll be champion this year in my personal thoughts, but he's definitely a champion within a couple months, within next year. I think in next year or by next year, he'll be a champ, bro. But yeah, bro, MJF is he's a future star, and he's just gonna do so much, more heel and just asshole shit than other people can do. So he's definitely at the number two spot on my list. Who do you got?
Yeah, man, and still keeping up with the theme of AEW, man. I mean, not even, well, kind of both, but AEW and WWE. I got the GOAT, Chris Jericho. Man, dude, stemming back, talk about a mix of asshole and comedy. Chris
Mm-hmm.
Jericho is the perfect mix of that. Dude, the list was, again, we always say this, the only, and I mean only, reason people even thought about going to the USA Network in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And God, even when he went to Japan, he got a little more serious with it, which I loved. I even loved that, the Painmaker, Chris Jericho, or the Alpha, for those of you guys that remember that. Um, and Also, to where we're at now, dude. Where we're at now is some of the funniest shit you'll ever see. Like, but he's also such a heel. Like, he's such a dick. But like, it's just funny. But it's like the reason it's so funny is because he gives off that he's not trying to be funny. Like, he gives off that he's so serious, but it's so fucking funny. Like, some of the shit he says, like, he's fucking yelling at a drone. He's fucking beating the shit out of it with a bat. He's he's cursing out Cody. He's cursing out Kenny Omega. Dude, I mean, Chris Jericho. his whole run. I mean, even he has reinvented himself so many times. Obviously, the digs back in for those of you guys that remember the digs at CM Punk's family in 2012.
Um,
There's also the suit wearing Jericho where he fucking punched Shawn Michaels' wife in the face. Um, and then there's the Attitude Era, which I can't really speak on that. I'm gonna leave that to you old heads. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys because that's your era. I'm not gonna speak on it because I never lived through it, man. I can't speak on it, but from my era, obviously, punch fucking Shawn Michaels' wife in the face. Talking about CM Punk's family, and the list, the Painmaker, which even that was just funny. And obviously where we're at now, the inner circle, where he just tries to be this fucking heroic ass leader, and the only ones that see him as a heroic ass leader are the people in the group. But he's not a heroic leader. I mean, he's a great leader, but he's just so funny, and he just thinks that he's this fucking just god amongst all men, and it's just such a funny stick. And Chris Jericho just plays the cocky ass, narcissistic heel better than the best of them. Really, I mean, he's just fucking fantastic, man. But yeah, that's Chris Jericho, man. That's my number two spot, bro. What do you got? Or yeah, what do you got for number three?
and my number three spot, I also have. Oh, sorry, I thought my phone was fucking. I thought I was getting a call. But at my number three spot, bro, I also have Chris Jericho. Cause, bro, like you said, perfect mix of just dickishness and just comedy, bro. Like everything he's done, bro, from the list, bro. I'll never forget fucking 2016 Jericho, man. That shit was so funny with the list, and then giving people scarves and shit. Fucking, oh, bro,
Remember
this,
when he fucking kissed Ryan Ward on the head?
oh my god, that was amazing, bro. This shit was great. Like, and then his Alpha time, where that was his less comedic, but just straight great heel shit, man. Just dressing up as other people, beating up Kenny, fucking doing all that type of shit, making fun of the Bullet Club with his Alpha Club shirt. Shit like that, man. And then now just fucking cursing out Vanguard 1 as a fucking inanimate object, giving it a t-shirt for his fucking faction to wear so he could join it. Fucking calling fucking um calling Cody a millennial bitch, you know. And another thing about Jericho, no matter how old he is, he's still aware of the times. He
Mm.
knows the jokes about boomers and millennials, and he plays into that by calling, fucking Cody the millennial little bitch, shit like that, man. He's just someone that just stays relevant through the times, can always change, always evolve, always just joke around, dick around, be an asshole, but be so funny at the same time because he wants to be so serious, but he's just making people laugh with the shit he says, man. Hilarious, bro. Great in ring performer. Fucking great look all the time. All his looks are amazing, man. Um, like when he brought, like he said, when he brought the shit up with Punk and his fucking, he made that shit up about his family, about being
All
them
that
not
shit is
having any
real,
people.
actually. I think.
Really?
I know the
I
shit
heard
about
that.
his dad is.
Oh shit. Oh
Yeah.
damn. Um. Yeah, but like just shit like bringing that type of shit up. I'm pretty sure I didn't he brought it up in a storyline with Jeff too. He brought that type of shit up in a storyline with Jeff. I feel like he
Oh
did.
shit. I can't. Oh, that was Punk. Punk did
Oh,
that.
that was. Oh yeah, that was wrong. Oh, never mind. But still, bro, just fucking what's his name? Oh yeah, Jericho. Such an amazing performer, man, and just such an amazing heel. Someone that it's just such a compelling and funny heel, man. So he's definitely at the number three spot. And who's at your number last spot? Even though I think I can guess who it will be, but go ahead.
My second to last spot, man.
It's
Is
your second.
oh. Oh wait, did you think it was my last?
Wait, you're on your second to last two?
Yeah, I'm on the last two. I got two more.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead.
At my second to last spot, man, I got the Blackheart, Tommaso Ciampa. This guy, dude, bro. Do I even have to say anything?
Bro.
The way people hated him in 2018 was nothing that I've ever seen before. And again, I'm so happy that we got to see the second part of that trilogy, and we got to be a
Bro.
part of that and have the greatest takeover off the
Ending.
air ending ever.
Oh my
Ciampa's on
god.
top of the stage in handcuffs, waving goodbye to Johnny Gargano. And I believe I said this before, but they edited it out of the WWE Network if you go and watch it back, which I'm very upset about. That as he's waving, all of us, fucking 16,000 people in unison, bro, chanting, fuck you, Ciampa. Don't get any better than that, man. It really does not. And, man, just greatness, dude. Again, I don't even really have to say anything, bro, but, dude, this guy just, he, man, just, I don't even know what to say. Tommaso Ciampa, Tommaso, like the coming out to no music, and he won the NXT Championship, bro, because of Johnny Gargano's fault. And like I said earlier, man, you cannot say Johnny Gargano's a great baby face without saying that Tommaso Ciampa's a great heel, because with every great babyface comes an even better heel. And Tommaso Ciampa was that even better heel, man. And these guys literally set the world on fire, brought NXT to the mainstream. Like I said earlier, I would have preferred it stay more underground. Sure you would too, man, but fucking dude. Regardless, these guys put that shit on the map. Literally put it on the map. And these guys had a summer long of great matches, and even the match with Velveteen Dream, the match with Aleister Black. I mean, this guy just everything about that 2018 heel run. Um, when he showed up and cost Gargano the match against Almas at Full Sail. Excuse me. When after Takeover Philadelphia, when he came back, when Gargano was at his lowest point, man, and just stuck him in the back with the crutch. Uh, man, and especially when, do you remember his Takeover New Orleans entrance? No music. People just, the crowd was his music, really.
Yeah.
And, it was fucking amazing. And Tommaso Ciampa, man, brought back the heel that we hate to love. And that's
Hmm.
what we see today in people like MJF, man. Tommaso Ciampa, bro, brought that shit back in its greatest form. Some may argue Bobby Roode did, but although Bobby Roode was a fucking fantastic heel, people loved him just because of the music. Um, People just loved him. Well, not just because of the music, but he was always over because of the music. You know what I mean? Like, it just got him over as a cocky asshole, and it was so great. And it was and people just liked Bobby Roode, and Bobby Roode played a fucking fantastic heel. Tommaso Ciampa, people liked him, but we loved to hate him even more, bro. And he just played a fucking fantastic heel. The no music was the complete opposite to Bobby Roode, and people fucking just fucking tore into his ass every time he stepped out of that curtain, man, with those chants. And honestly, man, it's something that is gonna be instilled in our hearts forever through the NXT era of wrestling, bro. So, what's your number one?
And my number one, bro. We got my favorite of all time. Oh, one of my favorites of all time. Tommaso Ciampa, bro. You were just talking about him, bro, but bro, Champa, heel Champa, man. Talk about just just embodiment of what a heel should be, bro. Every aspect of it, man. He was cocky. He fucking he knew what he was. He knew what he could do. He was smart. He took things from fucking Triple H. He took things from so many other people and just combined it all into just him, bro. He fucking had his tactics. He had everything, bro. Just, bro. From the second he came back, I knew I was gonna be a mark for him. From the beard to the crutch, bro. I love his signature weapon, the crutch. It's such a cool signature weapon that he has, bro. Um, just when he used to come out to no music, bro, and like you said, the crowd was his music. That was amazing. You never see that shit no more. And he did it perfectly, bro. Although I love No One Will Survive, he truly didn't need it while he was a heel, bro. Um, bro. And just the way his character developed, he just became more insane as the time went on, bro. He'd named his championship, acted like he was another person. He used to fucking talk to it and just used to like go on, put it next to his ear and listen to what it had to say to him and shit. He was just that was his literal child on screen. That was his on screen child. Like, oh my god, and just the way he treated Gargano, bro, just fucking him at every turn. Bro, bro.
What the fuck is up with your wording? What the fuck?
But
Fucking
just
at every turn.
fucking
What the,
over at
what
every
the
turn.
fuck?
Just cost him his fucking NXT contract. Just fucking Gargano's action making him win the title. Just his look, bro. The way he speaks, his voice, just everything he ever did, bro, was just unbelievable, bro. Bro, I remember that. Remember that pork ass old lady in the crowd?
Yeah,
I remember
Grandma
when he took
NXT.
that. Yeah. um, but I remember when he took the sign from her hands and fucking like fake wiped his ass with it, bro. That Johnny Gargano sign. I always
Oh,
remember that. That was an amazing, such a great heel moment. Just the fact that this is my moment now, and because everyone knew in DIY, people of DIY, they were a great group, but at the time, Gargano was always, the guy in that group. And now Ciampa as heel is this now my moment. I'm the guy now. And just, bro, the way he would react when the crowd would chant fucking Johnny Wrestling, the signs he would fucking, rip up and, oh, bro. I remember one other time he got in that same old lady's face and was like arguing with her man. Just great, amazing shit. And he had the best NXT title run of all time.
oh yeah.
At Most definitely, man. He's definitely at my number one, at the top of heels for me, bro. Who do you got?
Yeah, bro. Like I said, dude, with that DIY, one of the things that sticks out to me so much is they played up to the fact that everybody thought Johnny was going to be the breakout, and they completely flipped it and just instilled this rage into Ciampa's character, and he was fighting so he wasn't the other guy, and that is the beauty of it, man. But at my Mount Rushmore, I have my favorite performer on the main roster, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. And not only The Fiend, but Funhouse, Mr. Rogers Bray. Even before that,
Mm,
Cult Leader. We have never seen something as good as... Have we ever seen anything like the Wyatts?
no, man.
Other than Jesse and Festus?
God, what the
I don't
fuck?
think we ever seen like a faction of hillbillies.
Yeah, I don't think so.
As you can see, Ricochet's gauge jogged to the ring again for for the third time in this video. Um, yeah, man. Jesus. Dude, Bray. Dude, and a lot of the performers say this. The thing that makes Bray so cool is the fact that you don't even know what the fuck he's talking about, but he
Hmm.
drags you in. He just drags your ass in, man, and he makes you listen, and he makes you feel like you know what the fuck he's talking about, even though you have no clue. And that, bro, is like so amazing the way he can pull an audience in and just make everybody listen to him. As soon as he opens his mouth, and and yeah, and it's truly amazing, and even in yeah, that more so was the cult leader Bray, man. But now the reason he's such a great heel is because of how many dynamics there are to his character. It's so, dude, the Funhouse is built through so much symbolism and foreshadowing, and it takes so much thought to really understand it. And yeah, man, it's truly amazing. Obvious, dude, Bray from all the symbolism through all the puppets to the way he messes with his opponent's head, from how nice he is on the Funhouse and how just demonic he can get in the snap of a finger, and how just how demonic obviously the Fiend is. It's just such a cool dynamic, man, and that to me makes for one of the coolest heel characters, man, and one of the most creative and thought out characters, especially in an era where WWE doesn't put too much thought into things. This is his brainchild, and this is Bray's baby. And
Hmm.
I think if it wasn't for bad booking, the Fiend would probably be undefeated. How are you going to keep the, no disrespect to the Demon, but how are you going to keep the Demon undefeated, but not the Fiend? That doesn't make any sense. Like, if you wanted to beat Bray, why didn't you just fucking have him wrestle in the sweater? You know what I mean? Don't have the Fiend lose. But
Yeah.
regardless, man, there's so many different dynamics, and they're so thought out. The Bray Wyatt character, and that to me, man, deserves a spot on my Mount Rushmore, man, for sure. I mean, that is one of the greatest characters we've ever seen, for sure. And honestly, it's greatness happening before our very eyes, man. I mean, this guy, like I said, he's put so much thought into it and so much thought on how to get this character over and stuff, and he's doing just so, and it's incredible. Bray Wyatt is an incredible performer when it comes to thinking out his his characters, and Bray is just one of those guys, man. Well, he'll just continue to get better. And with the Fiend, he with the Fiend allows way much more dynamic to it. Obviously, now he's able to kind of play a baby face, but a demonic heel baby face, if that makes any sense. Obviously, what we get now, pretty much. He is fantastic, and he is the greatest character uh, ever created. I think, in my opinion, he's the greatest character ever created. I know a lot of people disagree with that. Obviously, a lot of people say it's the Undertaker, bro. But the Fiend and the dynamic behind that is just the greatest. It's, you can't get much better than that. You can't get much better of how much thought he put into doing that, and how much he cares and loves that character. He is a lot like the Undertaker, man. I understand a lot of pictures of him with his kids leak online, man, and we do get to see just a little bit of Bray's personal life. Congratulations to him. He actually just had another kid with JoJo, but he keeps his personal life so private to the point where like it's so great when we see him on television because I feel, and he's one of those guys where I feel as if he believes what the fuck he's selling. He believes
Hmm.
that all these people have done him wrong, and now he's here to take back take back what they took from him, whether that be burials or pushes or fucking abandoning the Wyatt family. Bray is incredible. He is an incredible talent, and although bad booking gets in the way, man, I think we all need to appreciate how truly great Bray Wyatt is. I know us here at the Notorious Heels podcast definitely appreciate Bray Wyatt, but I think it's time for other people to start seeing it as well, man. This is the greatest character ever created right in front of our eyes. The only reason people may disagree with that, obviously, other than being old heads, Attitude Era fans, which I completely understand. Trust me, I completely understand why you say the Undertaker is because uh, that is your childhood character. But this is our ages. The Fiend. The Fiend is the now. The Fiend is the character. It is greatness. And had it not be for bad booking, he would be untouchable in the ring. He would have no losses, man. At least if it was up to me, he would probably still be Universal Champion. The
Oh
Fiend
yeah.
is that kind of character to hold the championship for 700 days like Pete Dunne did, and it's a shame we never got to that point, but WWE is never going to get that committed in somebody because they don't want anybody to be that bigger than them. Obviously, NXT did it because Triple H wants to create, Vince wants to create, but to a certain extent. Um, he doesn't want anybody to get above that ceiling, obviously, and Bray Wyatt is, like I said, man, the greatest character of all time, man. And like I said, I understand if you think the Undertaker is. Trust me, I understand because that's your childhood, man. But this is ours. Well, not really our childhood, but this is who we're growing up on, man. This is our character,
Hmm.
and it is absolutely incredible stuff that Bray Wyatt is doing, man. And yeah, like I said, I think it's about time everybody starts realizing this is our Undertaker, and we need to appreciate it, man. If you don't, which I hope you do. But yeah,
Hmm.
that's my reason for Bray Wyatt, man.
It's
So,
an amazing last one. Totally didn't even think about putting him on the heel list, man.
oh
That's
man,
amazing.
dude, I understand. Dude, there was a lot of honorable mentions. I was thinking about putting for my indie one. I was thinking about putting Joe and Jericho on there as well.
Yeah.
Um, thinking about putting Samoa Joe on there, man. But the indie one was a tough one, man. The indie one was a tough one.
Hmm.
Even putting Switchblade on there too, but I feel like I feel like a lot of people hate him.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't really consider him an indie legend. I mean, considering the fact that he's only really wrestled in Japan. I mean, a little bit of ROH, but most
Hmm.
notably in Japan. So hopefully one day we'll get there with Switchblade. But today is not that day, man. But yeah, there was the face one was a little bit more easy. Just because
Yeah.
I pretty sure I have a good understanding on what a great baby face is, and you as well, man. But the heel one, I can't remember who I was debating between MJF. I think I was debating with I can't even remember. Huh. So yeah, for the most part though, that one was pretty easy. But it sucks when you get three and you just got to pick one more. That's the worst part because you don't know who to pick. You know.
Hmm.
So yeah, man. Is there anything else you got to say? Any honorable mentions that you were thinking about for your list?
The UE for heels. Uh, for uh, for the indies, I had Bucks and Omega divided until you mentioned a couple nights ago they had the Bullet Club as a whole, and I didn't even realize that I just totally forgot I could put them all together. So I had a couple, man. I had a couple heels. I mean faces, not faces. I basically I just knew it from the beginning who I was gonna do, but heels. I had Cole as an option, and the rest of the U we had, I was thinking maybe the Miz, but definitely, man. I think I'm proud of my list. And I really like yours too. So, yeah, man, most definitely.
Thank you, man. Thank you for sure. I really enjoyed yours as well, for sure, bro. Oh, I didn't realize we got one person in the comment. Ethan the Prime 12 says hello. What's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by. I'm sorry, man. We were talking. I didn't even fucking realize it. My bad. Um,
Yeah, I'm good.
yeah, man. Anything else you gotta say?
Um, no, man. I think for Mount Rushmore's, I've said all I could, man.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, and before we get out of here, man. It's okay. So the next week's what if topics, man. We will be bringing to you what if Enzo and Cass never broke up. Would both of them have got fired? Would Big
Mm,
Cass have went down the road he went down? Who knows, man? We'll
mm,
tell you next week, man. And what if, this is a really good one, what if the 2016 draft never happened? A lot of shit
yeah.
wouldn't happen, I'll tell you that right now.
Mm,
But with that being said, man, that was Sir K. I am Johnny Mayhem. We are the Notorious Heels. Thank you guys for tuning into the Notorious Heels podcast, episode 9, part 1. This Friday, we will be bringing to you guys the news. We got a lot of news, man. Um,
mm-hmm.
yeah, man. Any last words, bro?
Thank you guys for showing up, man, and hope we see you guys on Friday's show.
Yeah, man. Again, that was Sir K signing out. I am Johnny Mayhem signing out. And until next time, please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on Friday with the news.
Peace.